It is day 10 of the 20-day Wrench Fest. 10 days left, just over a week and a half, or right at a week and a half to get this thing done. So kind of the rush is on. Today is Memorial Day, Monday, and I just wanted to say, happy Memorial Day to everybody. I don't know if y'all know the story of how he came up with Jolly Rogers Racing, or the Jolly Roger name, and it's actually a tribute to my service in the military. And VFA 103, the Jolly Rogers, is the name of that Navy squadron. It's based on the East Coast in Oceana, Virginia. And I always thought it was a cool name. Jolly Rogers are, the pirates and the skull and crossbones, but it was a cool name. The Navy has some really cool squadrons, and it was just a tribute to my time in the military. As Memorial Day, you all know that is for those that gave the ultimate sacrifice, and I have had a few friends that did indeed pay the ultimate sacrifice. So it's not just a barbecue day; it is a very special, near and dear day to me. So happy Memorial Day! Hope y'all are enjoying it. Enjoy the freedoms that our warriors are providing everybody. With that serious note, on the side, let's get that out before I get all choked up, because I am quite emotional about Memorial Day, as a matter of fact. So let's talk about the boat. I just got back from a trip last night. Today is Monday, and it's time to get back to the list. So I did get some things done. I didn't do any time lapse. I was pretty wiped out doing multiple red eyes back and forth to the East Coast, so I apologize. No time lapse today. I will get those going tomorrow, I promise, but we'll show you what we got going on the list. So here is the old list, and here's our 10 days left. We're actually here. Didn't work on it Monday or Saturday because I got an extra day up there squeezed in. Here's my new list that I started. So mount the accumulator, mount the fuel tank and all the plumbing, the water in and the exit, the reverse lever, and mount the oil breather. Tomorrow, in fact, I'm going to go show you those things right now. Tomorrow, we're going to get the foot throttle in and the cable. All that's got to do is get bolted in. Finish the steering cables. That's a bit of a big one. Hang the headers and then start the wiring. So first thing I did when I left, I smashed my finger in that stupid drill in the process of mounting the oil accumulator. So it is in. I had to weld a little bracket because the clamps are too tall for any of this stuff. So the accumulator is in. And you might cringe at this, but this is actually going to be our oil pressure gauge for the first race. We're going to run a race pack, and my wiring guy Josh is not going to be able to get to that before that first race. So we are going to run the bare minimums, oil pressure gauge and a water temperature gauge up there. That's all we're going to have in this boat for the very first race. Those are the essentials. That's what we're going to run with. So this thing has a pretty cool, TJ found these things. It's a little electric actuator solenoid that we just control from a switch instead of routing all the way down or having Kelly reach down there and open and close that accumulator when we start. You literally turn on the battery, open that accumulator, that pressurized oil surges into the engine. You never have a dry start. All your bearings are essentially pre-lubricated. And then once it starts, it back pressurizes that. So then you'll know you have pressure, oil pressure in your engine, because it's going to back pressure that accumulator. That buys you a 2-quart reserve, if you will. If you have a major oil issue, you've got a 2-quart oil reserve. So instead of running the dry sump, simplify it, and that's what we're running here. So that is in. The other thing, the fuel tank. Fuel tank is hard mounted, and I have the plan. It's where it was going to sit. It was starting to run into some issues with my seatbelt bracket, so I wanted to get it back as far as I could and still make those turns and get the hardware ordered. So that was pretty easy. Literally drew 2 holes, bolted in, but getting the position right where I wanted it, and all the hardware or the plumbing lines are ordered for that as well. One of the bigger jobs that I thought today was the reverse handle, and this is the same one we ran last year. And as you know, some of the other boats have that electric actuated reverse, and this is a mechanical. The push-pull cable comes out, connects to the reverse bucket, and that's how you raise or lower that bucket. Pros and cons to both. Electric stuff, especially in marine or boat world, can fail, and it does fail. So this is pretty fail safe. However, you can still have mechanical failures too. Stuff can break, brackets can break, whatever. The other thing is this gives you a little bit more feel, which Nicole was struggling with trailering the boat with electric reverse because you really don't know where exactly that reverse bucket is. This gives you a direct feedback on how much you pull is how much reverse you get. So it's very more kind of driver friendly, and she kicked butt with that. So she liked it. So we're going back with that in this boat, at least for the time being. We'll see what she wants to do, but this thing is pretty simple. Made a carbon fiber tube. Nice and light, little joint that I just created. It's bolts to the seat, and then you actuate your reverse. I sneak peek, I did bolt in the gas pedal. That was supposed to be tomorrow, but I got it done today. What else? Oh, the oil breather. So these are the Dash 10. This valve covers had a clear coat on them, and man, I was kind of mad because I wanted it to be nice and pretty welds, but there was just too much contamination in it. They're not bad, just not as pretty as I'd wanted. But Dash 10 breathers, I normally mount them up here nice and high, but I could not figure a way to do that without it just looking horrible. And I figured that because Benny wanted, this is where we picked the location for these breathers to clear the valves underneath, that as you're accelerating and turning, all your oil in here is mostly going to be pushed back to the rear of here. So it really should be just air ventilating out of the engine, not a lot of oil, I'm hoping. This is not tested yet, and I run it, like I said, I normally run it a little bit high and do a crossover, but this thing is fairly level. We'll see, but like I said, I don't think much oil is gonna come up out of here, mostly just the ventilating air. But if it does, I will have to force to relocate that thing up and higher. But it was very simple, just a little plate, nice and low, nice and simple and clean. It looks awesome. And I also ordered the hardware for that. So we'll see. That's why we got to go do test days. If we're blowing oil out the back and making a mess, I'll relocate it. Not a big deal. Hose clamp it or something cheesy like that. Don't want to do that. But if that's what we got to do, we got to do. Also got to start on hanging at least one of the sets of headers over here. Stephen Church, the loaners, they're all talking if we're going to buy these or loan them from him. But these things are a little bit longer than I wanted. I wanted the Headman upswept, but you can't get them right now. And so we had to like lean this thing in here to get the steering cables just barely to clear around, there's the other one right there, around the header. Not ideal, pretty tight, but it works. And we're gonna go with that for the time being. And so that's gonna be my big project tomorrow, is getting those steering cables. The main steering hardware up front is all done, but it is now time to finish the actual cables, get everything hardwired in, and it's done. So anyway, there was one other topic I wanted to discuss. Oh, let's talk about YouTube for a quick second. I'm trying to go away from the, hey, hit the cheesy, hit the like and subscribe button every video. It kind of annoys me sometimes, but I want to explain a little bit, because the video we just did of the testing, it took off. It just went over 20,000 views. And this is how and why that works. And sometimes viral or videos take off, sometimes they don't. All these build videos, I'm getting between 1,000 and 2,000 views. And the way that everybody talks about the YouTube algorithm is when I upload a video, if my subscribers that are kind of always there, if they're not even watching it, then YouTube won't kind of push it and promote it onto other people's pages or YouTube screens. If my subscribers, you all, hit that like button and comment and forward it, and if there's a lot of interaction from my own subscribers, you all, then YouTube says, hey, this thing's really doing well, and so they start promoting it to outside of my subscriber group. So that's how that works. Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and beg for you to hit the like button, but that's how it works. If y'all are more prone to hitting that like button or leaving a comment or anything like that, that's why those videos will do better, because there is more interaction. And it all comes down to, the bottom line is money for YouTube. So the more people they get watching it, the more commercials they can run on it, if you will, and then that's how it works. So I just wanted to explain that. That's that last video of us testing and Tina's face and all that stuff. y'all love that, and you all were very much interactive with that video, so that's why it's took off and it's got over 20,000 views, which is a lot for me. So I do appreciate that. Just wanted to share that. I got to get back to work. Tomorrow we're going to bang this thing out, so I got to upload this video, get some sleep, and hit it again tomorrow.